How you doing, gardeners? Ed Snyder with Fresh Picked Acres. Let's go on a farm tour today. Haven't showed you our fall farm tour. It's October 25th, 26th, and glad to have you along. So let's go take a look at the place. Today we are on our third day of cloudy, rainy weather, and I've been waiting very patiently for brome to start popping up, and there's some brome popping, some new brome seed, little tiny dog hairs, real small. I'm very happy. We finally got a little bit of good favorable weather. Now I hope the brome takes off. Our primary grass out here is turns out to be goose grass, and Delia and I, we focus so much on keeping the trees out of our ground that we said, well, we're not going to go ahead and I can't the cows don't want to eat the goose grass. That's just the way it is. If I clip it tight, and I get new growth, they'll eat it, the young growth. But for the most part, they ignore it, which is a real problem when that's your grass in your pasture. So I got out here and I spread some brome, and I actually spread a little red clover. That's going to be a little harder for me to find. I found what I thought was a few here and there. And in this zone, I was running the irrigation over here, and let's see, I did throw some seed along this edge here, but I'm not really, I think the wind maybe blew it. Maybe a couple of them coming up. I know you can't see it through the camera, but I guess we'll just have to trust each other, won't we? But I did run water, the irrigation gun, and I can see some young grass seedlings starting to pop up. Just, you got to kind of see it from a distance more than anything, but I do see a little bit. I seen some skunk out here, and but hopefully we'll have ourselves some young grass coming up, young brome grass, let me put it that way. That's what I need. I need brome coming up, and we'll have a much better pasture out here for the cattle. Same way with my red clover. I spread about 3 pounds in an acre, kind of thin, to try to spread it out. Hopefully it'll take off and we'll be in a much better shape. That's what I hope for. So just wanted to share that with you, where we're at today. But certainly been rainy, it's been cool, and it's a real and the tomatoes and everything's going pretty slow. So Delia's going to go out there today. Our plan is to go ahead and start taking down cucumbers. I think she's going to harvest some off of there, and we'll go with that. So anyway, good to have you along today, and like always, hit that like and subscribe. So we are October 22nd, and peach trees haven't even started to turn color yet. Can't believe it. They're all surviving, so that's good. We haven't killed them at all. And there's my as you guys recall, that's my fireman's 1900s fireman's hose reel. Really nice for my 2-inch hose. But no, look at this. Look at these peach trees. Still have the leaves on them. Isn't that amazing? Looked like something kind of dug around them roots down there. Can't tell, either that or it's kind of went down. Maybe that's just it. But definitely don't want anything to get into them. But no, doing very well. All peach trees are alive and getting rooted in. We bought them a week after this Home Depot. I seen them in their parking lot. I seen them on one Saturday. I came back next Saturday, bought them. So the trees never really got a chance. You know how they can get run down and things like that. Well, these never had a chance to, be neglected by employees. Not against employees, but for whatever reason, most stores are short-handed and they don't get watered as often or whatever the case is. But no, I'm happy how the leaves are. You know, granted, we're getting this 2 inches of rain and it's real mild, and I know peach trees don't necessarily like being sitting in water or anything like that, but they look nice and happy as far as I can see. And I don't know much about fruit trees, but I certainly don't see any problems right with them. And I believe over the winter we'll get us some mulch, and we'll try to mulch that area in, prevent the weeds from coming up around the bottom. Get some roll fabric and put that around it as well. But yeah, anyway, everything's nice and straight with the winds, and very happy about that. So again, the asparagus just about done for the year, just about done. Got some outside edges. What a remarkable year it's been on our asparagus, and I'll say that having the right herbicides made a heck of a difference in there. I'm going to come in here, I'll show you. We've had these guys bottled up for several days, and we did one harvest last week. That's all we needed to do. But our tomatoes, and it still is toasty in here. It's definitely toasty, but you know, the tomatoes are still thriving and doing very, very well. You know, just I gave them one watering. Delia has that guy's turning. We can harvest it. Delia actually has a customer who wants 2 5-gallon buckets of green tomatoes, and certainly that'd be the ideal size. They make a relish. I don't know what kind of relish they make. I don't know what that is, but that's what they do with it. And here's look at those red deuce. Look at how nice and big they are. So I did come in here and give a fungicide, and on the plants. Look at them. Isn't that beautiful? Here we are, October 26th. Now, I know we're going to have 36 degrees Wednesday night, they said. So we're going to try to, and then it warms back up into the 70s. So Delia and I are going to come in here and we're going to put a row cover back over the top, cocoon them in, try to use the heat from the ground, and to try to, you know, to capture, to prevent these guys from freezing. And that we'll see. We'll see if we can do it. Like I said, if we can save some, it's better than none, because we go until November 22nd with our farmers market. So that being said, we don't want to, if we can keep these guys thriving and continue putting out, even though that little tomato, it's got a long ways to go. But imagine if we could keep it going for 3 more weeks, how much bigger that tomato would be. So that's what we're after right there. And we come over here. Our Florida 91s on the very end. These are STM 2255. They really got the leaf mold the worst on this second batch. And I really didn't want to put any more fungicides on them. Not that it's a bad thing, but we're so late in the season, I didn't want to go through the effort. I got lazy, I'll put it that way. And but anyway, I had to. Otherwise, I was going to lose them totally. And but anyway, but here's the STMs, or I'm sorry, here's the Florida 91s, and we haven't really gotten a great crop off of them. Remember, this part of the high tunnel, I thought I was being smart by not planting for 3 more weeks. I think we waited 3 weeks, and we actually staggered our planting. So it isn't just that hey, you still have the same age plant. No, I actually staggered it, thinking when that part of the greenhouse becomes barren of tomatoes, that we'd be in a much better shape. However, the problem is these poor guys were going through that 95-degree heat, and they couldn't set any tomatoes. So Delia and I'm in here topping off my tomato plants. I'm topping them, and you guys seen that video on it. Well, come to find out there, you know, they went through that 90-degree heat. So they didn't set tomatoes, even though the spacing sounded awfully good. I'd have been better off just having to try to sell 4 more rows of tomatoes, as to literally get very few tomatoes off of these due to the higher temperatures. So bottom line is when it's time to plant, you get them in the ground and you just live with the consequences. We just got to be better in sales and do more sales is what we got to do. Go out, sit on the corner and try to draw interest. So, but that's just kind of just the way it is. So got a lot of young tomatoes. I told Delia, I says, doggone it, these guys never really got a chance to perform. If you look at the Florida 91, look at what a beautiful green tomato that it puts out. It does that on a lot of these. You can see the different colorations. And then, of course, it reddens up the same. It just has that darker green as a cap. So I always found that as a very pretty part about a Florida 91. Yeah, there's going to be some nice green tomatoes for Delia to harvest for our gentleman that does the relishes. So that's good. That's good. But anyway, bottom line is we'd like to get a crop off of these of significance. We'll see if we can do it. So let's go on in. I did, our spinach did not come up very well. And I just don't want to step on some tomatoes. So I think it was old seed is what I'm going to attribute it to. It didn't come up very well at all. So here we are at this part of our farm. And while I'm here, so anyway, I bought some more spinach seed. I can cut that off. So I just went ahead and I bought some more spinach seed, planted it, and we're going to see. I think I saw one yesterday. Hopefully more coming up with a new seed. Definitely got beets still coming. The celery. Actually, I've been eating some celery. Having it nice and fresh, and just hopefully it comes on. Look at how nice our cabbage and broccoli and cauliflower, but I got some cabbage loopers in there. When it does stop raining, I have to deal with that. I have to deal with it. I would just be in trouble with it. So I'm not going to have a crop out of it, but that's very good. And coming into the small high tunnel, and these poor cucumbers are finally done. They're done. They're no blooms, no nothing like that. But I did come in this zone. Now this is where I planted some more spinach seed. I don't know what that weed is. Looks more like a lamb's quarter. But you see that the spinach we have is not doing very well. Yeah. Now these guys are just not percolating. I think we got it in the ground a little too late. We're just too darn late in here. Yep. Hopefully another day, maybe. It'd probably help in here if we actually got into some warm temperatures. That would probably help us greatly. So there's quite a few cucumbers down there Delia's going to harvest. So we're just at the end. It's time to start cleaning all this stuff up, moving forward. So yeah, no, I really thought I'd have more spinach, but I don't even see the one that I saw. I don't even see the one that I saw the other day. Maybe there's one right there. There's one. And yep, got one spinach coming up there. That's not very good, but maybe we still got a shot at it. So I'll admit it's been very cool, 40s and 50s. So hopefully the seed just don't rot sitting there waiting for the soil to heat up. I mean, even in this high tunnel right now, it's not warm at all. So we definitely need it to warm up, without a doubt. Need it to warm up. Coming up here to our deer fenced blackberries, and sneak a peek here. Like I said, the good news is I don't see the damage to the tips. the way I did. This one is damaged, but that might be from beating up against that. But that's still good. That's still good. So we're going to have our floricanes. Here's where we planted. I forget the phrase. We did a video on it. Tip layering. And I don't see any new blackberries arriving yet. However, could be that we just did it too late in the season, and next year we'll get on it faster now that we kind of got a plan. I will say, for us, these blackberries look 1,000 times better. By this time last year, they were tiny little things. The deer damage, insect damage, I'm surprised they look as good as they do. And I know they should. Next year, hopefully they're going to be above the tops, and that's what they should be, right? They should be up there. But anyway, we'll move on to the daikon radish. They've gotten a lot of rain, and it's been this kind of a drizzle rain. Now, we had the very first night, I guess we had quite a bit of rain. But look at all the daikon radish out here. Will it make a radish before it gets too frozen? I don't know. We do. I know that we're just getting down into the low to mid 30s, and that's it. Then it's going to shoot up into the 60s and 70s. So with any luck at all, we're going to have a lot more radish out here. And yeah, and I'm going to run for late winter. I'm going to run cows out here, and but I did it from a tillage radish standpoint. I'm growing them. Well, hopefully, if we can get a few radishes that are in the 3-inch range, we'll take them to our farmers markets. But again, we're starting off late. But I think with this rain, they've gotten enough moisture now they can really take off. And we get in those 60s and 70s, I think we're really going to have something in here. But no, I'm very happy with that. And I did seed some more brome. I seeded brome and red clover from here all the way back that way. So hopefully I'll have some brome, even though I couldn't irrigate down this way. But with these 3 days of rain, hopefully we'll have some young seedlings starting to take off there. But yeah, I do got quite a bit of daikon radishes coming. The whole field's covered, and if it can just hold out and get ourselves a 3-inch radish and that type of thing, that'll be nice. We'll have quite a bit to take to winter market. And even better is if we can go about a month without any significant cold enough to freeze anything. Maybe we can actually get these guys to grow much bigger, get that taproot out. That certainly does look very healthy right now, and so that's encouraging. Yeah, I just needed it in a month before, and we'd really have something. But you know, you live and learn and whatever. But no, I'm very happy with the way the radishes are. If the weather cooperates, we'll have some for market. That'd be nice. So, and like I said, cows will have a little bit to eat out here. And that's the other thing. They can come in here through the winter, and it won't take them long to mow it down, but they'll have some winter forage out here. They're, like I said, that's pretty good size right there. Considering, you know, we got a lot of them that are so young, but then you got some that got a little bit better start. And yeah, we got it going, and very nice. You can definitely see how I spread it by hand. But anyway, yeah, wind must have really blown that. It was a windy day when I done that. Wind must have blown all the seed from my hand all into this one swell. But that's all right. That's all right. It's good. Yeah, they're starting to put out true leaves now. Yeah, they're putting out true leaves. Well, the next to last area that I want to show you is the potato field. And Delia and I have harvested a lot of potatoes off of here. But you can see, you know, we didn't get them all. And you can see them growing, but you could definitely see these 4 rows that never got harvested. And the last day of harvest, these were smaller, but they were coming back. And we had so many potatoes. I mean, we still have a lot of potatoes, but I said to Delia, I says, well, do you want to go ahead and dig them, or do you want to go ahead and just let them ride and put out another batch of young potatoes and stuff? And she said, well, let's go ahead and let it ride and we'll see how we do. And so that's what we're doing. And the purple potatoes here, they actually were blooming already, and they were blooming. You even got a little purple in the leaf there. And these potatoes here, these are red potatoes, and you can see how well that they're doing. I'm not worried about, I mean, I don't want it to be, if it was a hard frost and we were dry, I would run the potato digger and just go ahead and get them. I don't want to, when I say a hard frost, a hard freeze. If it's a freeze, that's one thing. A frost, if it just kills the tops of it, whatever, that's fine. It's time to dig then. But right now we're letting it ride, and we'll see. This is kind of like double cropping, even though we never actually dug them and replanted them. But it is a double crop potato in its own way naturally, and just doing what it would do in the natural wild. And but we'll see how we do. I can't wait. It'll be a neat November harvest day. And you can see where the tractor, where we pull up and we lift up the machine, you can see how the leftover potatoes that were the small ones or whatever, and how they took off, and have numerous potatoes that just were off to the side of our digger. We got a few things I got to stabilize my 3-point to make it a lot straighter, and then that would help me harvest straighter along that line. But anyway, look at yeah, we got quite a few potatoes even right here. Now they would not have the frost protection that the other rows do, because we never hilled these rows per se. I mean, these have been dug once, and then we got another. So we'll run the potato digger right down here too when it comes time, and that'll be fun. I'm happy to see that we got potatoes, but that's amazing. Here we are, October 26th. Got our double crop potatoes. We don't know what's going to happen, and I'm going to bring you guys along when we do. But yeah, kind of cool right there. Now over here on our farm tour is our zucchini and yellow squash. Looks like we got some problems with powdery mildew. That's what I can see right now. But we do have yellow squash and zucchini growing. The okra, we didn't get out here and pick yesterday, but they have a lot of bug damage on a lot of them. Like I said, that one is, they get the scars from the blister beetle and all that, but so a lot of them are not very edible per se, or attractive, because of these little blisters. And anyway, we're fighting a plant that doesn't really want to grow. There's a few blooms right there, and there's a good one. There's a nice young okra right there. So maybe we get down here on the lower, newer growth, we'll find some good okra in here. Yeah, definitely. The stuff on top, I think, this is the first blooms we've seen, to be honest with you, so we're surprised on that. The bees are not very active, so we're going to get a lot more of these bad, poorly germinated, or poorly pollinated zucchini and yellow squash, because the bees really, well, it's raining. So it's been raining for 2-3 days. So a lot of this is going to be, everything is slowed down, including the bees. And the blooms aren't as much. And I think we're basically about done, right? That's just the way it is. We're about done. So, but there is some yellow squash still in there, so that's encouraging. The old late winter. Time to start pulling this up when we can get out, start pulling up black fabric, get out here into the field. And had a good season, pretty much all the way around between the eggplant. We still got a few egg plants we're able to sell. Without a doubt, the black plastic, the woven fabric and whatever, regardless of how much weed's there, I tell you, the black fabric really helped our eggplant and do well. They really were very prolific. The grass you're seeing is really grass that's kind of growing from where the onions came out of. So that's why it's so grassy. It's not grassy per se. It's just on the edges of the black plastic. So there's lessons to be learned there without a doubt. But yeah, time to start pulling that stuff up and have some good hard work days, yanking it up, rolling it up, and getting it in the shop. So let's head on down there. And we've been doing some haying, and I'll grab some hay and get these guys a little satisfied, and we'll finish up our tour. I think we actually have the 2 heifers bred. I believe that. And look at this right there. Look at that deer tracks right there, coming right here along the edge of our high tunnel. And there's a pretty good sized doe tracks just running that way. I'm glad we have. I'm very happy I got a cover around our peach trees, prevent them from eating the young growth, and on top of it, the bucks rubbing their antlers on the young fruit trees. So that's good as well. So all right, very good. Let me keep going here. Well, there's the old 2 girls and the old bull, trying to spread the hay out a little bit in here, but as we're waiting for things to solid up a little bit. But definitely a lot cooler, rainier, all the above. So, but yeah, trying to spread out the hay a little bit, just give them a little bit. I want them to clean up the hay that's already there the best I can, so don't want to give it to them too fast. But that's the 3 amigos. That's the 3 amigos, and they all got their hay, and they're eating very well. I think the girls we have not seen signs of heat in the last 30 days. No riding and no jumping on each other and all that, other than when the bull first come back. I saw the black heifer, the Lily Beth. We saw her mount him, but I haven't seen the 2 girls ride each other. And as I understand it, usually they say that when you see a cow riding another cow, it's the cow that's being ridden is most likely the one in heat, not the one. The one jumping on top is just bulling, and they're just, they smell the other ones in heat, so it just creates a bullying response from them. So it is what it is on that. But right now we have not seen it, so I'm hoping the 2 girls are bred. That's the hope. We got them until Thanksgiving or around Thanksgiving. So yeah, everybody's good. Everybody's good, and they're all eating good, and giving them right now 2 bales of hay yesterday, and about 1.5 bales a day. You can see that they just don't like that goose grass out there. That's the main thing, is they just don't like that goose grass. So that's why I'm in here trying to seed some brome into this place, and we'll see how it does, if it comes up and whatnot. They said having cows in here pushing seed in isn't necessarily a bad thing, but I'm guessing this is going to need a lot more work as a future winter pasture for them. My main goal is to get them out there in the field where the corn was last year. So, Delia, I don't have any more spinach coming up.
Okay. You checked already?
I checked this morning. Yeah, I checked it, but Looks like you're going to harvest cucumbers and tear down, because that's about all it's worth, ain't it?
Yep.
So, yeah, in here just throwing the seed down, and yep, he's going to go over there to the other pile of hay. You gotta.
These girls are in my way.
Yeah, the girls are in my way, and they looks like a little bit more. I'll feed them more over here tomorrow, that's for sure, or later on today. Yep, got to go there. Lily Beth, you got it all to yourself if you're smart, but no, we got to act as though that hay's better than this hay. Anyway, yep, it's becoming a mud spot right now.
Any radishes?
We got a lot of out there. A lot of radishes. A lot of radishes.
So you can all see the radish already, little bulbs?
Well, no, but we're getting true leaves now. Yep, there she goes. Says, Ed, you better. Yeah, they're going to say, Ed, you better bring out some more hay before they're going to go through this too fast. That's just a half a bale.
Yeah, that's good for now.
Anyway, all right, folks, I hope you enjoyed that. And like always, Delia and I obviously are going on about our day. We're talking about our day, and we just kind of left you on the table there. So sorry about that. But like always, if you like these types of videos, do us a favor. Hit that like and subscribe. Come grow with us.